Have you ever considered what it means to be in bondage? It will be a very great relief when someone in bondage earns his or her freedom. Many individuals who have been kidnapped have been traumatized and exposed to different kinds of things. The experience is what most people don't want to live with for the rest of their lives. Most victims are denied clothing, some are denied shelter, while some are denied food. Kidnapping over the last decades has been so rampant across every part of the world. The question is, what is the motive behind kidnapping? We can just assume that it is a means to exploit rich people, or it is a means to show authority over the surroundings. Whatever the case might be, kidnapping isn't just a crime, but a deficit to human living. In this video, we will explore some incidents of kidnapping cases where cops just arrived in time. Some at the point of execution, some at the point of trauma, and some at the time beheading. Cops are the only real agent that can rescue victims, and they have to do that right on time. Do you want to learn more about these cases? Then, you are watching the right video. Before we continue, kindly subscribe to our channel to enjoy more fascinating stories. Click on like, follow, and subscribe at the bottom down of your mobile. If you have done this, then we are good to go. So, let's get right in there. In the morning of October 16, 2023, officers received a call that an individual was held hostage at a particular location. On the arrival of the cops, the residents explained that the individual had been injured and locked in the garage without their knowledge. The residents have earlier reported that they have seen the woman with a 33-year-old suspect, Williams Mozingo. Judging by the whole situation, the woman's condition was really intoxicating and deteriorating. With this development, the cops had to rescue her without injuring anybody. They went round the garage to inspect and gently hopped around if they could hear some sound from the garage. Having heard the cops were around, Williams locked all the doors to the garage and made everyone in the garage to be silent just to deceive the cops that there was nothing in the garage. "Williams, you have the last chance to get out of this garage and surrender yourself." These were the words of the cops. After some time with no response from the suspect, the cops had no choice than to force their way in by breaking one of the doors to gain entrance into the garage. The officers were very careful not to release any fire inside the garage. They asked the suspect to gently walk outside, and when he did, they arrested the victim and entered the garage to rescue the victim. On getting inside the garage, they found out that the woman was kept in a very tight hole at the upper corner of the garage. The victim was gasping and struggling to breathe. She confessed they have been kept hostage for about 4 days and have been traumatized so badly. The victim was then rushed to the hospital and was diagnosed with facial fracture, brain blood, and broken arm and finger. Williams Mozingo, on the other hand, was arrested and was charged for kidnapping, abduction, felonious assault, and unlawful restraint. Another case of kidnapping was witnessed on July 2, 2021. The cops hastily responded to a call of a man in a red Challenger who had abducted a 6-year-old girl playing outside the compound. It was reported that a fellow neighbor followed the car and recorded the car's plate number and other description of the car and sent it to the cops to continue the tracking with him. After about 30 minutes of tracking the car, the suspect knew that the cops had no option but to keep chasing until they got him. It wasn't known if the suspect was planning to kill the victim or to kidnap her. On getting there, the cops gently moved towards the car and asked the suspect to hop down slowly. He was given several instructions to follow, asked to kneel down, and then got him arrested. They rushed to the car and asked anyone inside to open the passenger's door. The little girl yelled out that she was the only one in the car. The door was opened and the girl was rescued. The girl said she was at the front of her daddy's compound when the suspect came to pick her up. After checking the vehicle, the cops noticed that there was a cloth spread at the front seat of the car. It was believed that the suspect put the cloth there to eliminate all evidence after premeditation. It was reported that the suspect deceived the girl that he was going to show her a puppy, claiming he knows he is her mom's friend. It was believed he made the girl so comfortable in the call for her to believe he is her mom's friend. After some time, the grandpa arrived at the scene and the girl told the same story to his grandpa. Robbie Wild was arrested and charged for kidnapping a minor, kept on parole and probation, and then sentenced to 13 years imprisonment. On the cold ice of April 4th, 2002, some group of police responded to a distress call to attend to an incident of a stolen car. The car was not just stolen, but there in the car was a 9-year-old boy, which made the case a robbery and kidnapping case. At the earlier scene of the crime, the suspect attacked the father of the car and then left with the car. The dad quickly gave his son's iPhone ID to the police, and that was what they used to start tracking and tracing the vehicle's whereabouts. In less than an hour, the tracing was getting more closer when the cops used the precision immobilization techniques to put the car to a stop. The cops found the vehicle parked alone along a lawn. The suspect yelled to the police not to shoot at him nor the boy. The police recovered the boy, checked for any injuries, and then the vehicle. The suspect was hereafter charged with kidnapping, cruelty to children, and theft by taking. Kidnapping cases were mostly carried out by unfamiliar faces in relation to the victim. But can you imagine a case where your ex-boyfriend was the one who kidnapped you? That can be so dramatic, right? On January 30th, 2017, Police responded to a call in Las Vegas where a woman has been dragged from a house to a white van outside the building. Reports has it that the suspect had his arm around the victim's neck, choking the woman and dragged her down into the van. Officers tracked the suspect using the signal gotten from one of the abductor's phone, and within a few hours, they closed down the vehicle along a lane. On getting to the scene, the cops instructed the victim to put his hand out of the window. He yelled that there is still a passenger. The cops insisted that he adhere to their instructions. He hopped out of the vehicle and moved towards the cop's car. At that insurance, another suspect wanted to escape but was hindered by the police. The woman in question was rescued, but the scene was traumatizing. She was held up in chains both in the neck and in the hand. The cops requested for the key to the chain and gently helped to loose her, gasping for her breath and couldn't move. She couldn't scream cause she already lost her strength. The police assisted her out of the van and took her to their own vehicle. The cops were surprised to the level of torture the woman had passed through at that short time. He broke into my apartment and took me into the van. He almost raped my fucking ass. Do you know the guy? He's my ex-boyfriend. The victim further explained that the suspect were his one-time lover during college days. It was also revealed that the suspect had been tracking the victim for about a year and a half. The suspect was charged with kidnapping, physical and mental assault, and theft. He was imprisoned for 10 years. The saving grace of any victim is the right timing from the cops. Many kidnapping cases were not traced because of wrong timing. It is increasingly disheartening that kidnapping cases are getting into a norm in the society, and this is a call for individuals to be more aware of their environment and also to be vigilant.